Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Informal bringing you a new Mr. Informal podcast. We are on the Mr. Informal podcast 237. That's 237. Yes. Not only that, this will be the year end edition. Next, it's almost 2024, 2004. But certainly, I hope you are doing well. I hope you are healthy. I hope you are enjoying life. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you are well. And certainly, please do not forget to add me on Instagram, MisterInformal. And then check out my website, mrinformal.com, mrinformal.com. So, basically, in this podcast, there's no topics. I'm just going to ramble on about random things. Not random things, but the biggest news in the tech and fashion, or the other way around. So that is going to be interesting. I'm just gonna blabber on. I'm not even gonna put on the timestamps here because, as you know, this podcast is not an hour long. I could make it an hour long, just like how I used to do it, I think, from what I remember. But it's just going to be some random things that will come up, hopefully just to summarize the year 2023, because next year would be the year of the wood dragon per Chinese zodiac, whatever it may be. Hopefully you are born in the year of the wood dragon. And so that will be it. Let's go ahead and start the Mr. Informal Podcast 237. Well, one of, or if not the biggest news in fashion was Adidas dropping Kanye West due to anti-Jewish comments, whatever it may be, only to find out that Kanye West was a big reason why they surpassed their financial quarterly results or goals. Not only that, they were hesitant to drop Kanye West, and so they did, but it definitely hurt their pockets. And I mean, it could be whatever Kanye West said, it could be true to others, it could be a lie to others, whatever it may be. Certainly he has a lot of cachet, and it's pretty obvious that Adidas was affected by his dropouts. And also they still kept selling his shoe. They did stop selling the shoes, and then they brought it back because they have inventory. But it's pretty obvious that Kanye West's name was making Adidas a lot of money. Moving on, a lot of K-pop idols, a lot of Korean pop singers, rappers, whatever you want to call it, became an ambassador to a lot of fashion houses, such as Dior, Fendi, Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, YSL, Bottega Veneta, even Calvin Klein. Especially with Blackpink, all of those four girls are ambassador for some other, a lot of fashion brands out there. Not only that, look, it's not just K-pop alone, but K-pop is just dominating the music industry, the fashion industry, the makeup industry, and so it's also the singers from other countries such as the Puerto Rico, Brazil, obviously Mexico, and then you have Thailand, China, Taiwan, Philippines, and last but not least Japan. So a lot of those are happening. And then moving on, basically the whole year has been taken over by this topic is inflation. Yes, inflation has taken over basically the whole 2023. Everything got expensive. Groceries got added up from $10 to $30. That's a lot, especially if you're feeding a family. And then electronics, from shoes to the clothes. It's almost as if the dollar became less valuable because the USA government has been spending way too much instead of budgeting, and also they're giving away aid for free for some no reason at all. I don't understand. And so I wouldn't be surprised if that still goes on in the first half of 2024. But certainly inflation was a big topic for 2023. So moving on, this lingered from 2022, but collaboration was just happening left and right. I mean, Nike, Adidas, Gucci, Dior, everywhere there's always a collaboration. Levi's has a collaboration every minute, every hour for some reason. And then you also have NBA collaborating with Skims, Kim Kardashian's brand. So that became interesting. And then we also have F1 fashion. A lot of fashion houses are inspired by F1 jackets, helmets, and so on, whatever it may be. And so there's also F1 happened in Las Vegas recently. So that is interesting. The F1 in Las Vegas, I'm not mad at it, but the only thing I'm mad about it is the ticket prices. Ticket prices was just off the charts. And so moving on is the TikTok influence. Could you believe that New Balance, Asics, the Adidas Samba, and now even the Adidas Campus or the Gazelle is popular because of younger people talking about it in TikTok. It's absolutely insane how the Adidas Samba became popular. Think about it. I don't even like the Adidas Samba. I don't hate it, but I just don't like it. I prefer Stan Smith. But it's absolutely insane that the Adidas Samba became popular. Even Asics. I used to wear Asics, the Gel Light 3s. But now they're popular. And then you have the dad shoes. And I'm going to get to that. Well, actually, I'm going to get to this. Is New Balance. New Balance is cool. No more dad shoes, right? And then after this, TikTok influence moving forward is New Balance is cool. Never in a million years. And I hate the fact that New Balance is trying to, I wouldn't say trademark, but trying to make that dad shoes become theirs. If you understand what I mean. Even though the people have called it dad shoes. It wasn't New Balance who called it. It was the people. It was the younger kids. And now New Balance is profiting off it. They're basically suing Golden Goose about it. But moving on is that New Balance became cool. They're not dad shoes anymore. New Balance is also signing up basketball players left and right. I know that they have Kawhi Leonard right now. They also have models coming out left and right, and a lot of people love them. And don't get me wrong, New Balance running shoes are absolutely amazing. I think they are very underrated because all people see is Adidas and Nike. On to the next one. Another headliner this year was artificial intelligence. Yes, Microsoft Copilot, ChatGPT, Gemini. It seems like everything has AI nowadays. Refrigerators has AI. Your CPU has an AI engine on it. Nvidia is making AI. AMD, Intel, even cars these days have an AI. Seriously? Even Tesla have AI. But about AI, a lot of the tech CEOs had to go in front of Congress to talk about AI, if it's good for humanity, if it's good for society, yes or no. Many said yes, many said no. I'm a proponent of no. It's pretty obvious that there's nothing to be gained from AI. Seriously, there's really nothing to be gained. Are you telling me that us humans can do the same thing? But we all know what AI is for. A lot of these tech just wants to make their life easier and to cut cost. They don't want to hire any humans. They just want to have AI control everything. But don't be surprised if actual humans push back. So, on to the next topic. Another big news with what's going on. Well, obviously the war. Normally I don't talk about it, but the Ukrainian war. And then suddenly later in the year, Israel and also the people of the Palestinians or the people from Gaza are fighting, and everyone is fighting back and forth, who's right and who's wrong. I mean, I know I don't normally talk about it, but that's just a big headliner. Moving on from that, I know it was a quick one, but I just want to move on from that because again, I don't normally talk about it. So another one is the prices of is that shoes. Yes, shoes is still a big commodity, and in regards to shoes, Air Jordan trends have decreased, meaning it has stopped. No more waiting in line, no more selling. There's still some models out there that are selling out, but for the most part, there's still, you can buy Jordan shoes, walk in for the most part and get your size or try it on if it fits you. And so that's interesting, and I'm glad that is over. So on to the next one. Well, in terms of cell phones, it has plateaued. A lot of the brands have not brought anything other than talking about AI. But for the most part, I think all they talk about is new camera, new lens. I mean, that's what everybody's aiming for these days, right? Is having a new camera and great quality, trying to get that DSLR or full frame quality pictures from cell phones, and which I think is impossible due to physics. But maybe in the future, maybe in the year 2100, we would have full frame cameras in the size of a cell phone. I mean, that would be great. That would absolutely be great. On to the next one. A lot of the celebrities, even influencers out there, became creative directors for a lot of fashion brands, which I think is, I wouldn't say ridiculous, but I do think that it shouldn't be the way. Don't get me wrong, there are creative directors out there, but there are also those that are not creative directors out there. I mean, one example was, to me, Virgil Abloh. I know he was the men's designer for Louis Vuitton, but at the same time, I didn't find him creative. I mean, I guess you can define creativity however you want it, but was he influential? I mean, that's debatable. But I would not say he's creative. A$AP Rocky, would I say he's creative? I mean, no. He's a great stylist, but he's not creative. Kim Kardashian, would I say he's creative? No, but Kim Kardashian hires the right creative people for her brand. So, I mean, Beyonce with Ivy League, is she creative? No. I mean, did she hire the right people to be creative? Look, I don't know, but the brand doesn't seem to be going that well compared to Kim Kardashian. And so, again, these celebrity creative directors, I don't think that should be a way that fashion brands should be hiring. I just think that they just need to hire the right people. Now, if that right people happen to be celebrity, fine. But for the most part, they should not be looking into celebrities as creative directors. Now, I want to talk about this because it's a big one. It's going to be one of those last but not least is layoffs. Layoffs was a big thing in the 2023. You had Amazon, Walmart, Intel, AMD, you have Lululemon, you have Etsy, you have Kohl's. I mean, you even had Facebook, you had X. Everybody seems to be doing layoffs these days. Especially Disney. Disney had a big layoff. Just to say to their investors that would surpass their goal for this quarter. By what? Cutting your workforce by 20%, 30%, whatever it may be? That's ridiculous. I mean, if you ever watch all the previous podcasts, you see how many layoffs I've been talking about. And I actually think it was ridiculous. A lot of these CEOs don't even know what these people go through or the people that they're laying off, only to hire the same type of people probably a few months later, the same amount. I mean, why even lay them off if you're just gonna rehire? Yeah, it's basically just to show their investors that you reach your goal. I mean, that's all it is. It's just money. Everything comes around. Money comes and goes. And so I kind of feel bad for the people who got laid off this year. Hopefully you're at a better place, better phase in your life. And maybe if you did switch careers or degrees, whatever it may be, hopefully you are well off. But certainly this year's had so many layoffs. I cannot believe it was basically the year of the tech layoffs, because Meta, X, Snapchat, Microsoft, Amazon, IBM, Oracle. There a lot of layoffs happened. And it wasn't just that. It wasn't just tech. I know I said this year the tech layoffs because they had the most, but also fashion had layoffs too. It could be from Etsy, even Lululemon, who was doing well, also had layoffs, which I didn't get. Levi's even had layoffs. And so, again, I feel sorry for those people who got laid off. And there are people within my circle who also got laid off too because of that. But they're doing good now. And so, yeah, that is basically it for the year-end edition of this Mr. Informal Podcast 237. I hope you enjoyed that year-end edition. Just blabbering about what happened, or major news or major topics that I spoke about in the previous podcasts for this year. Again, please do not forget to add me on Instagram, MISTERINFORMAL, and check out my website, mrinformal.com, MRINFORMAL.com. So this concludes this podcast 237. Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. And so, hopefully, 2024 gives us better news. So I will see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.